From Concord University in Athens, West Virginia, this is Mountain Lion News.
Hello, and welcome to Mountain Lion News. I'm Leah Gilpin.
And I'm Blake Whitener. A very special guest recently visited campus. First Lady of West Virginia, Gail Manchin, came to discuss education and other topics at the chapel in University Point.
I believe that regardless of a student's academic background, what high school they came from, what town they came from, at a school like Concord University, you have a chance to succeed.
Many students, including leaders of fraternities and other programs, gathered and asked many questions, which she answered without hesitation. During the discussion, Mrs. Manchin spoke freely about her advocacy towards education, religious freedom, and the arts. Mrs. Manchin had many great things to say about the campus as well.
Concord's Title IX and Sociology departments hosted a film viewing to close out their Women's History Month activities. Title IX coordinator Jill Nolan led this event.
I think it's important. I think, the thing that we know is that sexual assaults happen. A lot of people, unfortunately, experience sexual assault. And I really think the only way that we're going to ever get to addressing that issue is to talk about it more. Until we make things that have historically been kind of private and swept under the rug more out in the open, we're never going to be able to address them.
The Bystander Project, a recent documentary, brought compelling insight and news ideas to the concepts of rape culture today. Nolan said the best approach towards sexual assaults on campus is to contact campus police.
Thursday evening, Concord students had the opportunity to watch Danish Mikpool, a rising comedian from New Jersey. Originally from Pakistan, Danish started out as a professional commentator with Major League Gaming, then switched to comedy. He has performed in New York City, Brooklyn, Chicago, Los Angeles, and across the seaboard. Danish has been featured in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal for his stand-up comedy and looks to, as he puts it, have a Danish takeover all across the country. His routine included social commentary on life as a Pakistani man and even communicated with the audience. Many laughs were had as Danish impressed the audience at Subway sides that night. If you are curious as to where Danish will perform next, he is planning on touring across the country.
Concord University and the American Red Cross partnered together once again for the semester annual blood drive this past Tuesday. This came on one of the Red Cross's monthly giving days this year, with the next being on April 26th. The blood drive was held in the Concord Student Center ballroom and was open from 11 in the morning to 5 o'clock that evening, and was open to all students and residents in the community willing to give. Once there and checked in, you are tested to make sure you are able and fit to donate blood. When requirements are met, you are then met with soothing lights and relaxing music to ease those who may be nervous when it comes to needles. Red Cross nurses are constantly by your side monitoring you throughout the process to give you anything you need. Snacks and refreshments were available for those who may have needed them either during or after their donation is given. The Red Cross made sure to come prepared, and there is an urgent need for blood donations around the region. So if you missed your chance to donate, please check the American Red Cross website, www.redcrossblood.org, for more dates and donation events.
Concord's Wellness Center has began an initiative to increase faculty, staff, and students' personal steps in getting them to become more active through a friendly step challenge to see who can walk the most. Here's what their program manager, Dr. Meteor, had to say.
Usually each week I send out a suggestion for getting more steps, like taking a faraway parking spot, or instead of taking an elevator somewhere, take the stairs, or hey, every 5 minutes out of the hour, get up and take a short walk. Most of the time people don't understand the number of steps. The recommendation is about 10,000 a day minimum. And most people don't ever get to that and realize how far away they are. If they want to get involved, they would need to email wellness@concord.edu. It is a little late, but I would accept them if they wanted to be part of it. Make yourself aware of your activity and increase your activity levels.
Welcome back to MLN Sports. As always, I am Riley Griffith, and softball split their 2-game series against West Virginia State and was swept by Charleston this past week. Jenna Witt was named MEC Player of the Week from this past week, and the Lady Mountain Lions will take on UVA Wise, West Liberty, and Wheeling Jesuit in 3 sets of 2-game series this coming week. Track and field placed well this past weekend at Richmond as Jason Weitzel provisional qualified in the 10,000-meter run as he went to Raleigh Relays with a time of 30:31, and Emily Henry tied her personal record in the 400-meter run and earned her way to a Concord Athlete of the Week honor along with Weitzel. And as we reach 1 month away from the end of this school year, Concord baseball sits at a 14-7 mark so far for this season and sits 4th in the North Division of the Mountain East Conference. But don't let that record fool you, because this team shares the same amount of wins as division leader Charleston. But my words cannot do the team justice, though. So joining me to talk about their season is 2 veterans of the Concord baseball team, in junior infielder Nathan Neff and sophomore pitcher Logan Morrison. Guys, how are we doing today?
How's it going? Pretty good.
Alrighty, so how did you 2 end up here at Concord? From high school, both of you guys were from Virginia, and so how did you guys end up in Athens, West Virginia? What was the whole process there?
Well, I knew I wanted to play baseball after high school, and this was kind of the only option I had was come to Concord, so I took it and ran with it 5 hours away, but it's been pretty fun so far.
Nice.
Same. I knew I wanted to play college baseball, but this was kind of my only shot, and they gave me a shot, so I took it.
There you go. So you guys are sitting at a 14-7 record right now, and you're heading into some big divisional games this coming weekend against West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan. You guys got Salem tomorrow. And so how much has Coach Garrett pushed these divisional games for you guys? Because you guys are tied for the amount of top wins, but you guys are sitting 4th because of your divisional record right now. So what is Coach Garrett pushing to you guys for getting these divisional wins and moving back up into the rankings?
We just try to have a really solid week of practice, a lot of focus, a lot of energy. And then once we get to the games, we try to stay even keel. We don't want to get too high. We might win a few games. We don't want to get too high. We may lose a game. We don't want to lose another one, so we don't want to get too low. We want to kind of stay on our even focus level, even energy level for the whole weekend so we can put 4 quality games together.
Yeah, the mantra of the weekend is just to win the weekend. If it's 4 games, win 3. 4 would be great. But if there's 2 games, even split would be great. So
kind of chopping at the tree, if you will, move closer to that top division mark. Right. So who do you guys think has impressed so far with 21 games into this season? Has there been like a standout freshman that stuck out to you guys, or has there been like a guy who's picked it up, brought more competition to you guys as an overall team? And who's been that standout guy to you guys, if there has been one this season?
I think for most of us, we'd say our shortstop, Anthony Stalin. Last year he played a little bit of outfield for us as a freshman. He's a sophomore, and this year he's playing shortstop for us, hitting leadoff and hitting in the 3-hole a little bit. And he's had a great year. He's probably the best shortstop I've ever played with, and I think he's hitting about 420.
Oh wow!
420 average. So he's having a really good year so far, and we all think he can keep it up and have Player of the Year type of year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, him and William Guay is kind of our number 1, our ace pitcher. He's sitting, anywhere in the 90s, and he pumps it up. But he's been kind of our go-to guy. Him and Anthony have been kind of our standouts.
Oh wow! Well, check out for those guys as they take it on. So, take us through the normal day of a Concord baseball player. What kind of things do you guys do on a day-to-day type of basis, and how do you guys balance your school with a social life and your commitments with baseball? What kind of day do you guys typically have?
For me, mostly just wake up and then go through a day of classes where you might have 2 or 3 classes in a day. Nothing special, just sit through them. And then we practice every day at 2.
Got you on that. So, coming up after the break, we're going to have a new Mountain Munchies with Ian Jewell, and Cameron White will have a review on a new Disney film that has hit the theaters near you. I'd like to thank Logan and Nathan for being on here, and stick with us here on MLN.
See you after hours, Charlotte, North Carolina, Tuesday, April 9th, 2019, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Black Fan and Mary Pub in Charlotte, Uptown. BCM, Because Christ Matters, Tuesday, April 9th, 2019, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the AB Conference Room. Adulting 101, Wednesday, April 10th, 2019, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., 8B Conference Room.
Welcome back to MLN News. I'm Ian Jewell. This week on Mountain Munchies, we headed over to the new local favorite, Gabra's Grill and Cafe. Co-founders Letitia Gabra and her son opened the restaurant about 2 months ago.
It's a family-owned business that we came up with the idea to open back in December of last year. It's owned by me and my husband. It was my husband's dream to always own his own business, so we just ran with it. Jeremiah potato, oh my God. It is a huge potato. It has chicken, steak, shrimp, bacon, butter, sour cream, cheese, and everybody in town is going crazy over it. Everybody. It was created by my son, who is Jeremiah. He's 19. Anytime we went anywhere, that's what he wanted to eat if he was eating a potato, so we decided to add it. Come out, support, give us a chance, and I'll guarantee you'll be happy.
Gabra's is open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day and is located at 109 South Walker Street in Princeton. If you're interested, you can reach them at 681-282-5361. Over to you, Leia and Blake.
Well, Gabra sounds fascinating, Ian. What was your favorite thing there?
It was pretty great. I had a steak hoagie, and that was my favorite thing. Modern version of a classic thing. Probably the best one I've ever had, actually.
Sounds delicious. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
Now here's MLN's Cameron White with See You at the Cinema.
Thanks, Leia. Hello, and welcome to See You at the Cinema. Today I will be reviewing Disney's newest traveling circus show, Dumbo. I'll be blunt here. Dumbo is a jumbo no-go faux show. Yes, as shocking as it seems, the director Tim Burton has dropped the ball yet again. The man who once made beloved cult classics such as Beetlejuice and Sleepy Hollow has become a corporate shill for Disney. But if you're going to be a shill for the mouse overlord, at least do a decent job at it. Because I found more joy in watching the kids in the theater spilling their colas and candies than I did watching the movie. I dreamed along with Dumbo of pink elephants and many wonderful things, only to wake up to the nightmare that is this movie. I genuinely thought Colin Farrell was Joaquin Phoenix, doing a really bad Joaquin Phoenix impression, and the children in the movie are better at being creepy than they are at being actors. This movie was an assault to the senses and an insult to cinema, especially the classic piece of animation this dystopian schlock is based on. I hate this movie so much. I wish I could not recommend this film, but there is one bulbous, beautiful saving grace of sorts, and that mystical element is none other than Danny DeVito. I give nothing other than my respect to Mr. DeVito, who has dedicated his life to the craft of performance. And this role in the movie is the best part and a true waste of his abilities. Thank you, Danny, for everything, from Taxi to It's Always Sunny. I'm sorry you had to be in this. Well, at least I had a positive review on the last show. This has been See You at the Cinema. I'll be back in another 2 weeks, reporting from the studio. I am and always will be Cameron White.
A no-go faux show, but it featured Danny DeVito. I hope you had a lot of movie theater butter popcorn there.
I had so much popcorn, the butter was clogging my arteries. Thank you, Blake.
Ooh.
At least the popcorn was good.
Indeed.
That's all we have time for this week's MLN News. I'm Leia Gilpin.
And I'm Blake Whitener. We'll see you in 2 weeks.